So today I want to continue my series on the Ascendant, or the rising sign, or the Ascendant, or as Martin Schulman likes to put it, the Ascendant, your karmic doorway. But I'm not going to be talking from the books because I want to share my own experiences. I have done like 300 charts or more, and I've observed a lot of people's rising signs and how they operate. And yeah, but first of all, the ascendant or rising sign is the sign rising on the east at the time that you were born. And so you need your birth time to know this. If you do not know your birth time, you have no way to know your rising sign unless you get your chart rectified or something, or you guess. So if you don't know your birth time, you don't know your rising sign. Anyways, okay. It's how you act. It's how others see you. It is the mask that you put on. And also in this book, Martin Schulman says that it is that point which the rest of your chart can get out of your chart and be expressed. So starting with Aries rising. So Aries is a fire sign ruled by Mars. Aries is my rising sign. I was born at 4:16 in the morning on May 8th of 1995, and my rising is 3 degrees of Aries. So Aries risings, the way that you can tell if someone's an Aries rising is they just seem really excited and they seem really energetic, and they're maybe looking around fast, they're tapping, they're moving their feet. They look like they're just about to jump out of their seat if they're sitting. They have a lot of energy, and they could be the first person out the door. Like they're impatient, and you can see this. And they might even seem to be more impatient than they really actually are on the inside, because I've noticed this. A lot of people, they say, "Oh, you're so impatient," but I'm not really feeling that impatient. I'm just kind of like, let's go. Like, Aries risings are just so excited about life and so ready to go. Aries is the first sign. It's that pure creative energy without any consideration for anything else. It's just creation itself. So Aries wants to create. Aries wants to do new things all the time. People with Aries rising, they never stop. They like to always be doing something, and it's got to be something new or a challenge to kind of keep it fun for them. What else about Aries rising? So, yeah, you can tell it's an Aries rising by they look at you pretty intently, like they'll watch you very closely and observe you, but also maybe be looking around, like almost for an escape. Like I've noticed Aries rising see this when they're talking to you, like they'll be looking at you like, oh yeah, but then they'll kind of be like, okay, go over there. No, can I go over there? Like it's just, they are just so full of energy and life. They're full of life. They can also kind of have tempers on them, but another thing, I think they come off more angrier than they actually are. I have had this happen. They like to express themselves. So if they're feeling a little bit angry, they might really express it more than they're actually even feeling. But all depends on the sign that Mars is in, the house that Mars is in, and the aspects that Mars is making. Like if you have an Aries rising that has Mars in Cancer in the 12th house, square Neptune, opposite to the moon, like this person might be a lot more inward. It might not seem, actually, they couldn't have Mars in the 12th house if they're Aries rising. Mars would be in the 4th house if they had Mars in Cancer. Oops, I made a mistake there, but okay. But anyways, you have to look at the whole chart, but usually you're going to see Aries risings behave this way. And I don't know that many other Aries risings, but I know myself, and I know a few, and this is what I've found them to be. So Aries risings will have Pisces on their 12th house cusp, or somewhere in the 12th house, depending on which house system that you're using. So the 12th house is the unconscious. It's kind of like the deepest part of ourselves that we can never quite get a handle on. We know something's there, we're not really sure what it is, but it can be some of our greatest gifts also. So Aries rising will have Pisces somewhere in the 12th house. Aries risings can be very spiritual. They can be very compassionate deep down. They may not seem this way. They may seem rude. They may seem blunt. They may not be very adept with social graces and such. But deep down, they have a heart and they can be very spiritual and very connected with all that is, or God, or oneness, or the universe. Like, you wouldn't think they would be because they're not going to seem this way, but these people are very deep, and they think things, they think all the time. The mind is always going, but they also can be very connected with spirit because of Pisces in their 12th house. So don't underestimate Aries risings. They can be very spiritual. A lot of them can get into the healing type arts, or because then Scorpio is also on the 8th house, and actually, depending on which house system you use, every sign lines up with its house, and it's called the natural chart when you have Aries rising. So these people can just be very natural and free and really able to express all that is within the natal chart, and because if they're using their Aries ascendant correctly, they can let any other part of their chart have expression, because Aries is just so expressive. So if you're born with Aries rising, it's actually lucky because of the way that the house is set up. I mean, depending on where your Mars is too. I mean, you got to look at the whole chart always, but usually Aries rising is a good thing, although they can be very misunderstood by other people because of their abruptness, because of their feeling like they're in a hurry all the time type of behavior. But if Aries risings can learn meditation, learn yoga, and always be physically active, like the Aries rising has so much physical energy, like they need to get out and they need to be doing exercise like every day to let go of some of this energy, and they need to be expressing their creativity too. What else? There was something really good in this book that I did want to add. I don't want to just read from a book, but I just want to make sure that I don't miss this. Okay, so it says, the spiritual lesson in this ascendant is to never compare yourself with the expectations of others. Be able to establish and control a point of yourself. Once this is accomplished, any negative feelings, thoughts, or actions which you might experience can only occur if you misuse ascendant energy. The true challenge is to stay within this point of self and trust it. Even though you may feel you are ahead of yourself, you must trust that the North Node and the rest of the potential emanating from your inner being is standing solidly behind you, protecting you from failure or supporting and guiding you. You must not look back or you will doubt the strength of your foundation. The Aries ascendant can be a powerful focal point for all that is seeking expression from within. Power is only powerful when it is used well. Strength is only strong when it is directed with meaning. So, I guess what all that means is if you can learn how to use the power of this ascendant, you can really accomplish anything, but you must not compare yourself with others, because Aries is a creator, Aries is an innovator, it's way ahead of its time, so you're not always going to be accepted by everyone for your ideas. But yeah, you still need to learn tact and how to get along with people. It's not always about you, but I think Aries risings can be quite refreshing because they don't care as much about what other people think as some of the other ones, and this is good, and they can create anything, they can do a lot, and very active and fun and straightforward. These people will tell you what they feel, and they're kind of childlike in their expression. They just be, and that's really refreshing. But yeah, so Aries rising, I don't want to make this too long. Okay, I think that's good. More to come.